So now we have to move into how do we sell in any market? I mean, honestly, as a sales trainer and as a salesman, acting salesman, actively, I always question myself and I say, could this just be a bad week? Could this be a bad month? Could it be a bad year? And if we start coming up with these excuses, we analytically devise a negative plan for us of demise. We start saying, okay, well, we can excuse this week. We can crouch it down to bad data. We can say, oh, the customers just aren't buying this week. We can say, oh, it's a downed economy. We're in a recession. Nobody else is selling either. You can't, as a business owner and or entrepreneur, have excuses for what is currently happening. We have to open our eyes and start to look around and say, I have a solution. I know I can solve this problem. Because any problem you have or succumb to, it always has a solution. Now think about this. What happens during a recession? What happens during a depression? Who's hot? Who's not? Do you suck it up to, oh, well, everybody started making less money at work? This is something that irks me. My salespeople, I pay them their same base no matter what. They should work just as hard in a downed economy to a thriving economy because they're going home with the same check. The company that's feeling it is me, the owner of the company, acting owner of a company, the directors, the managers, the supervisors, the CEOs, Wall Street if you're public, the investors of the company. But when people get a paycheck to do their job, you shouldn't allow them to have the excuse of saying it's the leads. It's not the leads. It's usually the person calling on the leads. And or it's not the marketing, or maybe it could be, but it's the person behind the marketing. Now, let's dive into this and let's think of a few different scenarios. Number one, what is the minimum return our clients need from our products or services? Now, this is something I ask myself, not on a daily basis, but a weekly basis. I say to myself, okay, how is my business changing? How is my industry changing? How can I meet the minimum return that my clients need on my product and or service? Now we have multiple call centers. Let's take the insurance call center for one. Well, with healthcare reform, with aka Obamacare coming in, traditional medical, cutting their commissions, right? Reducing programs, companies going out of business, the new medical loss ratios, MLRs, being raised to that 80-20. Well, companies are starting to backtrack on, whoa, we need to put more on the agent, we need to put less on us, we can't pay out as much, so the agent's gonna have to work more and get paid less, right? And they're gonna have to do all the marketing and figure it out for themselves. And I'm saying, okay, great, well, what return do my clients need? People want information, right? So then I'm going to start saying, okay, I got to remarket. I got to reinvent our solutions to the way that we're currently doing business. You yourself, you have to say, what is the minimum return that my clients expect from me? If you're a lumber mill, you have to say, okay, what is my best client looking for from me? What is the most appropriate type of wood and or lumber that they're looking for? What type of cuts? Then go focus on them and focus on your clientele. And then say to yourself, okay, great, what kind of service am I really providing? Moving forward, how can we outdo that by 50 to 100%? How can we outdo what we're currently doing by 50 to 100%? You have to reinvent your business. In any market, you have to reinvent your business. Whether you're doing good or whether you're doing bad, you have to reinvent consistently. The internet is ever changing. Ever changing. I remember buying a Yahoo stock back in the late 90s with the big internet bubble. And now all of a sudden you look at Yahoo, Google's, the Facebooks, internet stocks are all over the place. We all wish we just cashed in that one big stock. But you know what? Things are reinventing themselves. And back then when they said there was a bubble, that was the best time to buy, wasn't it? Or even before the bubble. Even if you bought in. Look at Apple stock, look at Microsoft. These are all companies that we should have invested in, and then we kick ourselves later. But you know what? That's why we have to ask ourselves, how can we outdo what we're currently doing by 50 to 100%? Because isn't that what computers are? They always outdo themselves. That's why last year's computer is always outdated this year. Technology is becoming bigger, better, faster, or apologize, smaller, better, faster. But now think about what has been the client's experience with the competition. I train all of my telesales reps inside my call centers to always consistently understand and hear what their competitors are saying. If you do not hear what your competitors are saying, well, they have a competitive advantage over you. They might be using a tool against you that you never even knew existed. How is your client marketing, your competition marketing? What are they currently doing? What are they doing different than you? Are they getting customers, or they are aggravating customers? Figure it out. What sets us apart? What's our unique selling proposition and or specialization? What is your mission? What makes you unique? Are you just another guy trying to start a business, or do you have a competitive edge? Are you really good at designing websites, graphic artist? Are you really good at producing video? Are you really good at producing music or producing sales for real estate? What is your niche? What is your forte? And then concentrate on it. Now, you have to ask yourself and write it down. What sets you apart? What sets us apart from them? Write it down, though, and make a list of 10 to 20 things that set you apart, and then throw it into the power statements that we went over previously. Your salespeople must be sold on what you do first. Now, this is something that's huge, right? Whenever you have a downed economy or, quote unquote, in a depression or recession, all of a sudden your salespeople start to feel it too, don't they? They start to say, well, you know what, everybody else, isn't spending money, and, it's just really hard to sell them. Understand that, but listen to me, Joe. If you want to make more sales, you can't agree with them. You have to let them know that the economy is still flourishing, that people still need to eat, that people still need to spend. Because if they aren't, we're just going to shut the whole country down, right? That doesn't make sense. But Mr. Jones, what changed from yesterday till today? What, a couple people didn't want to invest in stock? Who cares? You still need something that's going to help you. You still need this product, right? You have to reinvent your pitch. You have to reinvent your salespeople. Your salespeople have to believe in what you're selling, but they have to make it make sense to your clients, so you have to make it make sense to them first. Now, with this, we need to set service standards, honestly. Give a superior level of service to your clients and customers. Now, you look at Zappos, Zappos.com, internet company. Now, CEO is really, really young, but he always says, hey, listen, if you don't like the pair of shoes, they weren't exactly what you thought they were, send them back to us, and you pick out a different pair, right, size and or style, and we'll send them out to you before you even receive yours, right? They are so confident within their service that people are going to do as expected because they give the results, right? That they do these extra things. They go the extra mile. What extra mile are you going through for your customers? Look at Publix. It's always customers first inside Publix. If you live up north, Publix is like a ShopRite, right? Or into the Piggly Wiggly, right? Going, to the middle of the U.S. But you have to understand that everything is about service. It's the experience that you're giving somebody. So you have to set service standards. You can't just allow your salespeople to do the same things and act the same way like they're always going to get the sales in. No, it's not like that. You have to baby all of your customers. Make sure that they know that you care and you're there to help them. Now define what the best type of customer service is, and then measure and deliver it. Now, I rant and I rave a lot, and sometimes I tend to go too much on top of a subject, although this is one you really can't talk enough about, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Define what the best type of customer service is, and then measure and deliver it. I can't tell you how many times still to today that no matter how much you want to invigorate your staff, and I guarantee this is any business out there or any employee, people will not always give 100% because there's something emotionally blocking them. It could be something in their personal lives. It could be something that happened inside the company. It could be that bad phone call, the bad customer experience, the guy who just came in swearing, right, and yelling at you, and then that person feels very abrupt. Something could have happened, inside of their friend's life, which is affecting them. There's so many different things that can happen to an individual that emotionally they may not just be there. Now, we have to define what the best type of customer service is and then measure and deliver it. If you don't measure your customer service staff and their abilities and your ability as a company to deliver your mission statement as a customer service agency and or repertory, you're going to be in death-defying trouble. You have to teach your staff what you mean. You have to teach your staff what it means to always be personable, to always deliver the right attitude, because that one bad phone call could be the wrong person who's going to go tell the world something negative about your company. We have to deliver it. We have to deliver the message in which we preach as a company. You can't just give a meeting and or send out a memo and expect something of somebody. You have to live it. You have to breathe it. You have to do the same. If you act counterwise to what you said, well, then everybody else is going to feel they can too. More importantly, sell your track record. Sell your track record to all your clients and or prospects. Let them know how long you've been in business or what you have accomplished before. Let them know your feats. Let them know what you're here to do. Let them know what you can do for them. Sell the testimonials. People in a downed economy, right, or reversed economy will tend to rely on what other people are doing. Always. People follow the leader. Become the leader, preach yourself as the leader, and make more sales. Get permission to use specific client names and document numerical results to increase your credibility. As I said, use testimonials. This is the strongest piece of your business. You'll see it on Allstate commercials. You'll see it on Prudential. You'll see it on all these, farmers, all the P&C companies out there. They use testimonials because they say, hey, listen, it's good enough for her. We were there for them during a hurricane. We were there for them during Katrina. We were there for them when their house burnt down. You should choose us too. Because not only could we help them, we can help you. It's the best form of advertising, but no matter what business you're in, ask for testimonials. Because if you did good by me, I'll be more than happy to go spend 2 to 5 minutes to go give you a voice testimonial and or type out a quick email to tell you how much I appreciated and valued what you did for me. You'll be surprised about the reactions from your valued clients that you have if you just call your book of business and say, hey, listen, do you mind if I used your name and let everybody know how much you enjoy our service and or product? Now, we have to nail it down. Don't assume right here that the customer has a clear understanding of the details. Be sure to go over all the information, especially in contracts in detail, right? Work back to front. If you start with the prospect's budget and vision, it's easier to work backward to demonstrate how your product or service will fit their requirements. Now, number one, nail it down. Don't assume the customer has a clear understanding of the details. Be sure to go over the information, especially contracts in detail. But Mike, how is that really going to help me in a down economy or whatever? Because people want to know more. When people feel oppression, right, or some other people are suffering, they want to know they're making the right decision. They want to know. If somebody just lost $1 million in a stock, the last thing they're going to do is go buy another stock in the same category, right, with the same financials, the same everything, and take that risk. They're going to be what? More cautious. People become more cautious when they get burnt, don't they? When other people get burnt, especially in telesales. If somebody got burnt over the phone before, well, don't expect them to buy so easily the next time. Yes, you could still get them to make the purchase, although you have to remember these people think you're illegitimate. Now, work back to front. Start backwards to forwards, right? I always tell my salespeople, hey, listen, if your pitch is weak, you got to pitch backwards. Ask for the money first, then walk your way through the rest of the pitch. Let the customer ask you the questions instead of giving them the answers. Always take your marketing and reverse it and say, okay, well, it's not working this way. Why don't I just reverse the chain? Go the other way. If your chainsaw gets stuck inside that oak tree, what are you going to do? Reverse the blade. Take it out, right? Start jimmying it. You've got to move it around. If you keep doing the same things, you're not going to get anywhere. Hope that makes sense to you. Now, you have to demonstrate how your product or service will fit their requirements. Ask them. Say, hey, listen, if you had your chance to go develop a product to help your company, what would it be? Excellent. And then ask them more questions on it. Then tell them that you have the solution, which of course is yours. More importantly, bridge the gaps. Bridge the gap. Specify the results you want from your sales force, compare them to the current situation, and then center your strategy to bridge the gaps. I'm going to give you an example. Health Insurance Innovation. They have bridged the gap. They just recently went public. They are a short-term medical company. They saw an advantage inside of the marketplace. They saw that short-term medical was not touched by healthcare reform. They quickly went public, raised a bunch of money to go grow their company, to go capitalize on something in which they can bridge the gap between a mistake of the here and now. You see, traditional medical, all the commissions were cut. And then all of a sudden, premiums are skyrocketing. But short-term medical, premiums are on average 40 to 60% less. Proven. Now, they can bridge the gap from now to 2014 and beyond with their programs. What did they do? Struck out a new marketing platform, and then they're recruiting agents and agencies and call centers to go distribute their product. They are doing things differently as other insurance companies are closing down and are merging, right, with M&A with others. They're doing the right thing by saying, you know what, we have our own solution, we found the niche, now we're going to run with it. You've got to find your niche in your marketplace too. More importantly, don't promise more than your organization can deliver. I hate this. I used to have a manager for me. He used to promise everybody, whoever had an issue, I'm going to send you a gift card for all your trouble. I'm going to send you out a thank you, gift in the mail, for sticking with us. Appreciate that. You can't always promise more than you can deliver, because those things have to be authorized, and you can't do it to everybody or you'll be broke. People just want to be handled. People want customer service. People want you to be there for them. So be there for them. Answer their questions, understand them, and show empathy. Promising and not delivering is as bad as hearing complaints and ignoring them. It really is. So, big deal, you got on the phone, or you handled one of your big clients and you said, I promise you I'm going to get you more leads. I promise you that we're going to get that policy out to you. I promise you that we're going to make the car right. Well, then you don't do it. It makes you look foolish. It makes you look worse than if you just ignored it in the first place. Because you're ignoring what you told them you were going to do. So don't overpromise and underdeliver. Always do the right things. Hear somebody out. Let them know that you're going to work on a solution and that you'll get back to them. Let them know you're going to do the right thing by them. Use prospects' names as marketing tools. Create a seating chart in front of you and take note of their names. Use their names during a presentation to gain attention, control conversations, and underscore points. This goes for us corporate guys, right? Us executives. Whenever you give a big marketing meeting or you create marketing solutions for somebody, create a seating chart in front of you and take note of their names. Now, this is something I teach my salespeople even over the phone. You have to use everybody's name. If I'm speaking to Joseph Henry, well, I'm not just going to say, okay, when you go to the doctor. No, Joseph, when you go to the doctor, right? Don't just say when you go. Joseph, when you go. Mr. Henry, when you go. Mr. Henry, what you're really going to love about this program, Joseph, when a policy arrives to you in the next 7 to 10 business days, here's what we want to do for you, Joseph. Always ad-lib and use somebody's name because it's going to help you close. More importantly, realize that past successes don't cut future deals. Track clients, post-sales shipping priorities, and work them into renewal contracts. This is something I always encourage all of my salespeople to do. Just because you sold somebody and you got them on the books doesn't mean you're done. This person's a customer because they trust you and they like you. There's other opportunities to do something with them, to get referrals from them, or to get additional business. If they have conducted business with you before, they will do business with you again. Call your clients. Ask for more sales. Load them if you're in health insurance on dental. Give them term life insurance. If you sold them term life insurance, give them a dental policy, give them a final expense policy, give them a critical illness policy. If you sold them a house, well, go upsell them on a new house. Go tell them, hey, listen, we have a new market that's coming in. We can sell your house for X and I can move you into the new community, which is going to be worth Y. There's always something that you can do. I'll give you an example that real estates hate doing that because they're lazy. They're lazy. I wanted to get out of my house bad, so bad for 3 or 4 years. I think it was going on 3.5 years I sold my house. Now, I hated where I lived. I loved the house, but just the neighborhood, everything just irked me. I was trying to sell my house on and off in the market over here in Boca Raton. Finally, I got it onto the market, and finally we sold it. I was so relieved, but no one offered me anything else. They just keep hounding me to go look at something. There was no offer saying, hey, Michael, let's get you moved over here as soon as we sell your house. Always have an upsell opportunity. Now, put the customer in charge. Adapt your company policies to meet the customer's needs. Don't just say, I'm sorry, sir, we can't do that. I'm sorry, sir, we can't help you with that. I'm sorry, sir, we don't send out any information. Well, what are you doing? Or why do you want to hurt their prospects' feelings? Always be in agreement with a customer. Always tell a customer, of course, whatever you need, we're going to be there for you. Yes, you have to bow down to customers. And I hate when my salespeople say, well, I'm not going to beg the guy to buy it. Well, you should, okay? Because he is a valued prospect, which you need to make into a valued client. He's not your client yet. You need to kiss the feet that these people walk on and do whatever they need to a certain extent. Yes, we do have to take their abuse because I want you to take my abuse if I purchase your product and something went wrong or something didn't go my way. I want you to hear me out. Today, my dialing system inside one of my call centers went out. I got on the phone and I yelled at the dialing company because they didn't make us aware that they were changing carriers. I thought it was very poor customer service, and you know what? They didn't put me in charge. You know what that made me do? Look at other vendors. You always have to be in charge of your clients. Know what they're thinking, know how they're going to react, because it's exactly how you're going to react. More importantly, the bottom line, let your customers be in charge by letting their needs drive your strategy. It worked for Sam Walton. We all know who he is. Walmart, the biggest retailer in the world, which accounts for 10% of the GDP in the US, which is how they measure our economy in the retail sector, right? The founder of Walmart, it will work for you too. Remember this. We have to work our lines, everybody. We have to remember that we have to reactivate dormant clients, right? We have to remember that we got to go dig into our cookie jars and say, you know what? What's left? What's left out of here? Like this client, he hasn't done business with us for 2 or 3 years. Call him back. Call them back. In my insurance room, my salespeople always say, well, he found group insurance 2 years ago. Call him back because he may need help now. And nobody else is calling him, so let's get on the phone first. It's going to take 2 minutes out of your day to go call somebody to go gain a client for life once again. And your chances of selling that client are so high, it is extraordinary, that sometimes it was the small things that happened inside of an account that made people either cancel, go away, and or changed inside their lives. More importantly, you have a chance to do a win-back campaign. And that's what I mean, reactivate dormant clients from the past. You have to do the win-back campaign. Sit down with your list of past clients and customers and just call them. You're going to be surprised as an individual how many sales you're going to get. Even if you're in internet sales and you have a list of clients that have been to your website. I actually had a toner cartridge company, I'm not going to say the name, but it was the most phenomenal customer service. I ordered a toner cartridge and they kept my past history on it. You know what they did? They called me back to tell me I ordered the wrong one and then they upsold me, right? Now, this is not what I mean here, but I'm talking about the customer service aspect, that if they did it on a pre-sale, imagine if I didn't purchase from them another month or 2 from now. Well, they'll probably call me back again, right? Yeah, it is right. Because that's exactly what they did. They called me up and said, Michael, well, according to our past, you usually order every 2 months. Is there something wrong? Is there something that we can do to go regain your business? Have you found the cartridge somewhere else for cheaper? Allow us the opportunity to go beat the price. If you could show us the price in which you purchased the other toner cartridge. I said, whoa, I haven't purchased anything yet. I just haven't run out of ink yet. I've been using a little bit less. And they say, okay, well, on special right now, you can pre-order cartridges. Then they went in to sell me again. This right here, it's being done. You need to get it done. Now, reinvent the old leads. If you're like me, here's how you handle inquiries. Someone calls, you send them information, you call to follow up, they don't respond, you call again. After that, you give up and you forget about them, right? Take out these old leads, man. Not just the clients like we just spoke about, but the old leads. Old leads are phenomenal, right? Just because you went through them before and didn't close them doesn't mean you can't close them again, doesn't mean you can't have the opportunity to close them. Because if you had the opportunity one time, you can have the opportunity again. Is it cold calling? Yeah, but it's a downed economy. And you know what? If it was a lead in which they were interested at one point, they're going to be interested again. In fact, a study by Thomas Publishing Company reveals that most salespeople, regardless of the industry, they just give up too early. Most of those leads you could have sold. Believe it or not, many of those leads you simply gave up on can be turned into profitable business opportunities for you with just a little sales effort. According to the study, 80% of sales of businesses are made on the 5th sales call, right? But only 10% of the salespeople out there, me and you, go beyond. Look at this, 3 times. Most salespeople ask 3 times, give up, and go away and throw the lead away. My God, no wonder why brokerage firms that I used to work for used to give us the sheets and the sheets over and over. I was like, I just called this guy yesterday. And then the guy next to me, I just called this guy too. Guy next to me, I called him too. Oh, that guy's a piker. But then all of a sudden, the new guy comes in and closes him because he's never seen him before. See, once you have cancer inside that mind of yours, right, of your thought patterns, all of a sudden you think something's no good, and then you put it right by the wayside. Mix up your leads. The leads that you gave to one salesperson, give to another. Reinvent your old leads. Reinvent your old clients. Now, help valued clients create new sales for you. More often than not, my clients come to me with assignments that they want me to handle for them, marketing-wise, right? But if they don't, I want to generate additional revenue, I'm going to call on my other clients too, and I'm going to suggest different marketing ideas that they can use, and ideas which they go ahead with them, they're going to ask me to implement for them. Now, I do this for free, a free service. I will call my downlines, or I will call associates of mine, and I'll offer opportunities to help. I would say, do you need help? Are you currently struggling? You need help with leads? Do you need help with your salespeople, customer service, training? And then if they say yes, it allows me the opportunity to go in, figure out what's going on, and then upsell them on another product and or service. Do something for free and then give a value-added opportunity. People love that. And you know what? If somebody gets something for free, they have no problem paying for something else if you do a good job. Now, normally I encourage you not to give away your advice for free, but in this instance I do if you're in a downed economy. If your business is slow, there's nothing wrong with tossing out a few quick ideas and things which may be obvious to you and you didn't spend a lot of time coming up with, but which could be extremely valuable to your clients, customers, and or colleagues. Remember that. Now, master sales with the award-winning system here, right? I'm going to give you an example. Give superior level of customer service. In a recession or during other times when business is slow, you want to do everything you can to hold on to your existing clients or customers, your bread and butter accounts. I'm going to give you an example. Down in Los Olas, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, there's a local yogurt store. And this guy, he was hurting for business. And hurting for business as they were doing well, but he wasn't making what he wanted to make. And I got into a discussion with him because when I walked in the store, I had my daughter, and he immediately complimented my daughter, how beautiful she is, right? Compliment proceed, which we went over. And then he asked us if we were ever there before. And I said, of course we have. You always see us. He says, yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure, just going through my spiel, Mike. I said, okay, excellent, man. How you been? He says, everything's good. I said, why are you here? It's so late at night. It was like 10:30, going on to 11 o'clock. We were having this conversation. He said, I just want to reinvent my business. He says, I wanted to come back in because I saw that the business wasn't doing as well as it should be, and I wanted to make sure that my customers are happy. So I wanted to take the time to thank you and to let you guys know about the new flavors and all the new yogurt stations. It was a self-serve place. I was like, wow, that's really incredible. He's like, come try this one. This is my favorite. Come try this one. This one's new. And then what did he do? When I went up to the register, he says, your daughter's free. I said, my daughter's free? He said, absolutely. That one's on me, on the house. Thank you for being a valued client. So all of a sudden, he gave something up, and then he kept me as a customer. And now, you know what? I visit his store more often just because I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like, I really loved coming here before, but now the owner took his time out to say hello and have a conversation, and then he purchased yogurt for me, even though, I mean, it's not that much, but, you know, it's the small things, it's the small increments that are going to make a huge difference inside your business. Just remember that. So as a business owner, don't get foolish and don't let salespeople do all the work. You do some work too. Quote, reasonable, affordable fees and prices in bid situations. If times are tough, all right, it may be tough for others in the industry too. Don't drop your price and tell people you're dropping the price. Clients know this and they're going to seek to take advantage of you, right? They're going to be seeking out jobs from multiple bids, take instruction, right? Go in there, and if there's a recession, the cost of products or services, right, will become more of a factor than it normally is. Customers or prospects are unusually price sensitive. The solution is to bid competitively, but reasonably. If you are high priced to begin with, and you insist on getting top dollar, be prepared to lose out in some bidding situations.